Morning guys. So I've just done an Oscar winning performance. I swear it was my best performance ever to this camera, and it lasted about 5 minutes. I was going into detail about everything. I did my weekly recommendations, I was talking about where I'm at, and went back, the battery died. Typical, eh? So, good morning guys. I'm here on the east. See, I'm messing up this time. Last time I went through all the way through and didn't get hardly anything wrong. Good morning guys. So today I'm at East Yorkshire, and as you can see I have been treated to a glorious sunrise this morning. I'm here at Flamborough Head, which is on the east side of Yorkshire, just below Scarborough, down past Benton where the puffins are, and you've got the lighthouse, Flamborough Head Lighthouse, you've got an old lighthouse, and you've also got this beautiful rock structure behind me, which it's like a dinosaur. I find it absolutely amazing. If you've watched my vlogs from the beginning, or if you've caught up with them previously, you might know that I've done a vlog here before. Now, it was very different back then. I used a GoPro, and I think it was onboard audio or a terrible microphone. I remember the audio was terrible. It was only a little bit windy, and it just ruined the vlog. So yeah, different camera, different audio. So hopefully, at least the audio is going to be better on this one. I'd like to believe that my vlogs have come along a little way since back then. I mean, that was over a year ago now. I believe that was September 2017 I shot that. I think my presentation style has hopefully improved. I know I'm a lot more confident in front of the camera now. Back then, it was almost like I didn't know who I was talking to. I didn't know who my audience was. It's strange that now I'm almost picturing the people who I'm talking to, because I know who watches my videos, I know the kind of person who watches my videos, and I hopefully know now how to carry on sort of my presentation style in videos. So yeah, as I say, I hope it has come along a little bit. I know I've got a lot to improve on, because the numbers need to go up. So this morning, here at Flamborough Head, and I woke up at 5 AM. I got out of the house about 5:30, and already the sky was absolutely pink everywhere. It was just glorious. And you know when you get that feeling when you're like, I've missed it. Even though I had a 10-minute drive, was like that colour is going to be gone, as it has been so many times. Now you have to excuse me, I'm a little bit nervous being on the cliff edge, and I have to keep checking behind me while I'm sort of stepping around, because your feet get a little bit restless on these. Whatever this stuff is, grass. It's like it's a couch grass. It's called. It's very bouncy, and yeah, it's terrible for tripods. So anyway, yeah, 2-second timer at least, or cable release when on these tripods to make sure everything's very still. Back to the story anyway. So I got up, beautiful pink skies, and I wasn't rushing. Lots of toads on the road, so you got to kind of be very careful. But I got here, and immediately I got out of the car and I took some images of the lighthouse with the pink sky behind it, because I figured by the time I get parked, by the time I get up here, that pink sky's gone. So I took a few pictures on my phone first of all, and then I got the camera out because the pink sky still hung around, and I took some pictures there. So if they're any good, let's show them now. So then I walked down to this dinosaur kind of rock thing here, and I will show you the route down to that, hopefully at the end of this vlog, or I'll insert it somewhere while I'm talking now, why not? So basically, you start off at the lighthouse in the lighthouse car park, and you walk towards a structure behind it which is white, and then towards a wooden kind of watch hut. And if you've got the watch hut, I think if you kind of look down southways, you can pretty much see this here now. You just follow the pathway down and you're there. I know a lot of people come here and they don't even know this exists. I was speaking to somebody the other day who was actually a subscriber on my channel, and he didn't know this existed. I was like, if only you'd seen that vlog. So it's a good job I'm doing another one, because someone might watch it. So I got here, and the worry was there was a massive bank of cloud on the horizon, as there always is when you treat it to a great sunrise, is that bank of cloud ruining it. But luckily that was mainly up the north, and to the sort of southeast, which we're facing here, I imagine, it wasn't too bad. And the cloud has been changing so much, and I've been treated to some amazing light hitting different kinds of clouds. The sun is well and truly up now, so there's not much available for shots. There has been some lovely golden light, and I will have a wander around and see what else I can get. So as I say, I have been treated to some amazing light this morning. I've taken images on the D7200 with the ultra wide lens, the D750 with a 24-70, and I've also taken images on my phone. Now about the phone, I've recently just purchased a Huawei, I don't know how to pronounce it, I'm from the northeast, so I'll just call it a YI P20 Pro. Now the reason I got this phone is I've seen so many amazing images from this phone, and it just blew me away, and I was kind of like, no, a phone camera cannot do that. There's a fellow vlogger called Tim Day, and he focuses solely on shooting with a mobile phone, and mainly this one. And he's ditched his DSLRs in favour of using this phone. So he really has inspired me to purchase this, not as a camera replacement, but certainly as a tool to use alongside my cameras. Not always getting out alongside and doing comparisons. I think that's kind of just because at the moment I just want to see what it's like. But mainly when I'm out and about with family and I don't want to lug my massive camera around with me, because I have this like sort of leather bag which I do take out with me and I put a camera in, but it's just a faff. So I thought having a phone with an amazing camera could hopefully replace that. And I've got to say, I didn't expect it, but I've been absolutely blown away by the detail from this camera. It takes 40 megapixel images when in pro mode, and disappointingly only 10 megapixel images in other modes. You can shoot RAW, and I believe for the 10 megapixel it's the 40 megapixel condensed, so it's still a really good image, and I've noticed no loss in quality using the different modes. So I have used it a bit now when I've been out and about, and what I'll do, I'll show you some images now just to kind of show you the quality that I'm talking about, because I really have been blown away by the images from this phone. So I'm currently staying at Thornwick Bay Haven, which it sounds dreadful, but the kids love it, and you know it's in a perfect location. It's really quiet at the moment, and I personally love it. The Thornwick Bay Haven, it's very good for us photographers, especially the ones who like nature. It's a quieter haven with a nature reserve. We went on a nature walk yesterday, and I swear we saw about 25 toads, and some of them were like 1, 2, 3 on top of each other. It was, I don't know what was going on. So I took some images of these toads with both a macro lens and the phone that I'm using, and as I say, blown away with the quality. And what I'll do, I'll show you some of those images now, and I'll put underneath which camera I used, and just to show you the level of detail that you can get from using this phone. Now I will say it was kind of hit and miss on the focus because I was handheld, and obviously focusing so fine into detail in a frog, it was acceptably sharp, but when you zoom in it wasn't always sharp, so I've only kept the really sharp ones, and I think it was about a 40% keeper rate maybe. I had to bin off a few, but here are the ones anyway that I did keep with the macro shots as well. Enjoy. So I know that wasn't landscape photography, but hey, I like to show my images. So for the rest of the morning I'm going to walk around the north side of the lighthouse, and the sun's right out now. I mean, hopefully it'll dip behind those clouds and I'll get some softer light. There is a sea stack that's broken away from the main cliff, and that looks pretty good, and I think I'll probably come back and vlog that separately for a sunrise sometime this week. No, I'm not recording B-roll going up the steps and then coming back down and doing it again. I thought this way was the way to get the sea stack. I can see it, but I'm too far away from it. So back up those steps, around this way, and hopefully find another way down if I don't die first. Halfway there. Whew. Oh, done. Right, so now I've gone completely the wrong way. I'm going to head over there and hopefully try and get where I want to go. So it appears that in order to get down to the point where I want to get to, I've either got to go onto the beach itself, which I'm not going to do today. I've got to walk down kind of just on grass banks. Now I've had a look at these and they're very boggy, so there's no way I'm risking grass banks and cliff edges when it's boggy. So that's going to have to be another challenge. Speaking of challenges, fellow photographer and vlogger Simon Byrne has sent me a little challenge video. Let's take a look at that now.
Post-processing is such an important part of photography these days, and I'm fascinated to see how different people tackle this stage in different ways. So John, I've sent you a shot that I took in the Lake District. It's not the greatest, but I think it's a good image that will allow you to be a little bit creative with the processing, and I look forward to seeing the results. Have fun, mate.
So as well as editing one of Simon's images, I've sent Simon an image taken from my day at Flamborough Head of the drinking dinosaur. So if you'd like to see how Simon edits that image, please head over to his channel after watching this and check it out. And why not give him a thumbs up and subscribe while you're there. Okay, so I've got Simon's image, so let's dive into the computer and I'll take you through what I've done with the edit. I won't do the whole process, I'll just quickly explain what I've done and why I've done it. Okay, so let's take a look at the unedited image now. So as we can see, it's a flat raw file. There is scope for doing things to it, and the first thing you obviously notice is this thing flapping down in the top right corner. There are also a few dust spots along the top level where that flap is coming down, and I can either take them out in Photoshop as well as the thing coming down, or I could crop them out. Now with this scene I immediately thought that it would suit a better crop, and the crop I went for was cutting out the left hand side mountain and making bringing the sky down to get rid of all the stuff at the top. So now we have the crop. The two noticeable things at this point was the sky was quite bright and the water was quite bright. Now I've used pull down grads for both of those. So I pulled a grad down for the sky and lowered the exposure on that, and I've also pulled a grad up in the water level at a slight angle and lowered the exposure on that, and that's brought both of those in without affecting the mid-ground. Now on the mid-ground there was a white spot just right of the centre at the bottom level of trees. It was a water coming through in between, and that was quite distracting, so I took that out. Other than that, it's just been a case of lower the highlights, raise the shadows, raise the contrast, lower the black slightly. I didn't raise the white because obviously there's a blown out area in the centre anyway. Added a little bit of clarity, added my tonal curve, I added my lens profile and removed the chromatic aberrations. I do that on all my images, and added a slight vignette around the edges, and that's the image done. Now I did go for black and white, and the reason for that is I felt even with the process that I did, it was still not a vibrant enough image for me to have colour. I think it stood out more with black and white, especially once I turned it to black and white after processing in that way. I raised the contrast slightly, and that made the image stand out very well, I think, as a black and white image. So this is my final image. Now I'll also show you what Simon sent through afterwards as his final image. And the interesting thing is here, he's used a different colour effect, but if you notice the crop that he's gone for, it seems like we've both had a very similar idea. So the same image we start off with, we've came out with a similar crop, but very different images at the end. And I find that very, very interesting. So I don't know if my recording that I'll show had my recommendation for the week, because like I said, I did a full recording and my battery had run out. So in case I didn't do the recommendation, my recommendation this week is for Tim Day. because he inspired me to get this phone, and he's taken some amazing images using the P20. I think his channel is a really good example that mobile phones are coming along so much and you don't need a DSLR to get amazing images now. He's won awards with his mobile phone photography. He did a Glenative image at Glencoe, which is absolutely amazing, and he also got a commendation. He also got commended for a portrait that he did, which is absolutely fantastic as well. So go and check out his channel. It's a great channel, especially if you're interested in doing mobile phone photography. So I'll post the link below and also up there now. Again, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope now you know how to get a Flamborough head. If you have enjoyed this video, please like, leave a comment, and if you haven't subscribed already, why not subscribe now? And until next time, I'll see you later.